I don't know if any of you noticed, but
Too
our
much.
psychic powers kicked in again. Because this past week, before our most recent episode went live, we briefly made a joke about sea shanties.
Oh my god, we did! I thought we did that on purpose.
No, because it was, remember, we recorded it weeks before sea shanties were suddenly a thing for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What about sea shanties?
Sea
The
shanties.
They were
The
big
Deep
on
Space Nine
TikTok
song.
for a second, I guess.
Yeah, and then
The
on Deep Space
fuck?
Nine, Worf and all the people on the Rotaran were singing war
Shanties.
songs.
Space shanties.
Space
And
shanties.
I said Starfleet should bring back shanties, and so
Next thing you know.
the mooch, sea shanties. If only I could predict like lottery numbers.
That would be great.
Yeah, we all know the lottery's rigged.
But it should be rigged for me.
Ships rigging, sea shanties,
Sea shanties.
Bernie
Damn it.
mittens.
Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, a Star Trek podcast, episode 207!
Yay!
Holy shit. My name is Caitlin, and joining me today are...
Jake?
Chris.
And Ames.
And we're here today to discuss the final episode of Season 5 of Deep Space Nine, Call to Arms. And then
Damn.
we're gonna do a little top and bottom wrap-up, like we never do. Oh no, wait, always do. I always get those two mixed up.
I'm a top.
I'm a side.
I'm a bottom.
Which side?
Whichever side I need to lay on so my hip doesn't hurt.
God.
Good one. Good, that was good.
That is
Also,
good.
it's true. He has bad hips. Well, one
They
bad
don't
hip.
lie.
Just one bad hip. Yeah, they don't lie. And what they're saying is, ah!
Because Chris is a Klingon warrior who has died.
No, someone else has died. He's just telling Stovacor to watch the fuck out. Alright, in Call to Arms, holy fuck, a whole lot of things happen.
So many things.
Most importantly, though, Rom and Lita finally tie the knot.
Is that important?
No, not at all. I just wanted to get out of the way.
Okay, good.
And,
Thank you, Kate.
and Benjamin officiates, Garrick makes the wedding dress, or does he, actually?
Who
No,
knows?
probably,
No,
probably not. I think she just wore whatever she had at hand.
Yeah, because it definitely got moved up.
And Quark acted angry, but was secretly happy. No, that's basically the episode.
We got an engagement, too.
Yes.
Ish.
What?
We got Jadzia and Worf
That's
getting engaged.
way later.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Jadzia was like, hey, don't die and we'll get married. And Worf is like, boing.
Boing, boing.
Yeah, you're right, twice. It's like a tuning fork. Or, is that what I meant? Tuning fork? Is that what I'm talking about? It's got
I
two
don't know.
things. You whack it on a table
You
and
whack
it
it
goes,
on something and it
"Ooh."
makes a noise
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, tuning fork. Anyway. Alright, so what happens in this episode? The Dominion have been sending loads and loads and loads of ships through the wormhole, and Benjamin's like, well, this shit will not stand. Let's set up a bunch of self-replicating mines and blow those motherfuckers up. And they're like, sounds great. But the Dominion hears it, and they're like, sorry, doesn't sound great to us. And he's like, what? And they're like, maybe we can come to some kind of agreement. I'll go talk to my people, I'll have my people call your people. I'm sure we can work out some peace. That's Wayun, by the way. He says those things. And then he leaves, and
we trust
Benjamin is like, this is bullshit. We need to get ready right now. Hey, you guys have 2 hours to do that mine thing. And Jadzia is like, we need like 2 weeks. And O'Brien's like, this is no time to be scottying around. We don't have 2 weeks, we have 2 hours. So it's going to take 3. Fuck. Meanwhile, Martok is flying his fleet around, buying them some time. Jake Sisko is a real boy, by which I mean journalist. Benjamin is like, hey, tell Bajor to go ahead and sign that non-aggression pact. And, he also has something special for the ship. So, once they try to hold off the Dominion as long as they can, and then Benjamin's like, alright, well, we're gonna leave. And, he blows everything to shit. Operation Sisko. All the computers blow up. And,
What did you say, Jake, when that happened?
I said rip pup.
Oh.
Pup was in there. Pup is dead now, guys.
R.I.P. pup.
Bye, pup.
See ya.
I said, and then O'Brien, stopped and it was like a million voices all cried out at once. Like Star Wars, because the station died and he's gonna have to fix it. Eventually. But yeah, so Kira and Odo and Quark are in charge of the station. Starfleet out. They did have some Starfleet victory where they blew up a shipyard area the Dominion was, doing. So that was good. Gul Dukat sort of doesn't seem to understand that he's not allowed to just rape Bajor again. I think everything's going to turn out fine.
Yeah, it all looks great.
That's basically
Bajor's not in the Federation. It's my dream.
It's pretty much, that's the episode, I think.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, like, Federation priorities. It's like, all right, we're gonna take out a shipyard. Meanwhile, it's like Occupation 2, Bajor Boogaloo.
It's like, well, that, and they hung DS9 out to dry.
I know.
Yeah, isn't that supposed to be the most important fucking thing in the whole fucking galaxy universe?
There's a wormhole
quadrant
right there, teeming with enemies.
The fact that you got their shipbuilding facility is good because the wormhole has been mined. So now they can't build new ships and new ones can't come through. But if they hadn't pulled off the mining, your little, like, shipyard victory would have been fucking pointless.
Yeah. And it was also never communicated. Like, I got so angry. So we get this lampshade of a moment of this is why you're only seeing the major characters of the show. Because Starfleet says, oh, we're not going to send you reinforcements. You're on your own. To which I'm saying, what? No, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
And the other thing, like, one thing, and I guess this is the issue of having sort of a series running simultaneously with a film series, is like, at no point has anyone really mentioned that they're probably still theoretically recovering from the losses they suffered during the events of First Contact. Which, that would have made more sense. Just like, we're out of ships because we lost so many defending Earth in that movie you may or may not have seen.
They go out of their way in Deep Space Nine to not mention First Contact, like, plot.
I was just wondering how that could possibly be.
Yeah, because again, you'd think that...
It's a big deal.
Yeah, like, a lot of their issues presumably stem from the fact that a lot of ships kerploded a few months ago.
I mean...
Not even a small headline in the newspaper that's the Borg cube?
Between Wolf 359 and the First Contact battle, like, they really must be stretched pretty thin.
That's the thing, they probably barely recovered from Wolf 359, and then First Contact happened.
I mean, because it's not just the ships, it's the personnel.
Yep.
Like, considering how much training it takes to make a Starfleet, crew, yeah, they must be... Maybe that's why Nog got in, when Wesley Wesley applied, they didn't need more recruits, but now it's just like, yep, get them in, pack them in.
I imagine
can't read, fuck it.
I imagine that, even if they haven't necessarily made it easier to get into the academy, I'm sure they're really pushing enlistment right now. It's like, hey, just a reminder, you don't actually have to go to the academy. Come be an O'Brien.
They're going to start a draft? That'd be scary.
I don't know, maybe.
Yikes.
Maybe that's why Jake stuck behind on the...
Oh, yeah, that's good. I was going to say, because it seems a little unusual that suddenly Jake is a journalist.
I mean, it makes some sense. He's because at least, it's a bit last minute plot wise.
Yeah,
a bit convenient, but it does feel like a thing that because I feel like that's sort of just one of those old kind of stereotypes. Is the sort of would be writer who's like, shit, I need a real job. It's like, hey, I can still be a writer and have a real job.
But good news,
he's done journalistic stuff before. His thing with the battle,
his profile on Julian.
Yeah.
Soft journalism.
That makes sense. He's got some cred there.
Yeah, he's got that gave him a taste for it, I guess.
Well, and plus I actually really liked that we had a little bit of a callback to that episode with him helping Julian in the med bay, handing out supplies to everybody and then being there for triage. Though
watching some crazy man die in a trench.
Yeah. The question really that stems from this is how the hell did he spell Bashir the first time?
2 E's.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Because Julian reminded him how to spell it, which tells me the original story spelled it wrong.
2 E's. And an X. Baxeer.
Ooh.
But yeah, this was interesting, because it really was sort of a lot of thematic elements that they've been building kind of
Yeah, luckily they've
hitting
killed
it
off the
once.
Makimai now, because that would just be too many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
can we just take a minute to acknowledge just how many recurring characters showed up this
All
episode?
of them.
Yeah.
Except for Win. Win is like the only one who didn't.
Yeah.
But like we had, had
Wei-Yoon.
Wei-Yoon,
Gold
Dukat, Damar.
Yeah.
We had Garrick,
Zial.
Lita, Zial,
Oh god, and Zial and the Garrick
Yeah.
kissed.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Rom, Nog. I mean, they're technically recurring characters, I guess. Jake, even though
Yeah.
he's in the opening credits.
Oh, and
despite
Morn.
only showing up in a couple episodes. Morn, yeah.
And Martok.
Martok.
Mm.
Yeah, they really
man.
went all out for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the end of a season. You gotta kind of go out with a bang and then a giant battle.
Yeah.
And I was also reading up, so the writers have basically said, like, they like doing season endings more like this than like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Because this kind of episode sets up the whole of the 6th season. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to be dealing with this shit for many episodes to come. Whilst, like, a cliffhanger ending, like Best of Both Worlds, which is a great cliffhanger episode, it ends and then you wrap it up the next episode.
Yeah. And I think a complaint we often had is Trek doesn't always stick the landing on cliffhangers.
Correct.
Like, even Best of Both Worlds, like, the first episode and the way it ends is amazing. And then the second half's not quite as good.
Well, yeah, especially since the big cliffhanger there was the fire line.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
it just, the missile just bounced off,
Yeah.
Well, they also, when they're writing season-ending episodes, then the writers tend to go on a break. So they
Yeah.
end the season, they go on a break, then they come back and clean up the mess they've made.
Yep. Oh, and I think wasn't part of the issue with First Contact. Best of Both Worlds, that, like, the writer didn't think he was coming back.
Yeah,
So he was
Michael
like,
Miller was like, I might
good
be
luck,
gone.
assholes. But yeah, no, I think I personally like these better too. It's like, there's a story that is, there's a conclusive ending while setting up, like, here's what we have to deal with when we come back.
Yeah, and that, they are going to get back to the station.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
There's a baseball now. They have to.
There's no mystery that, I guess they're just on the ship now or something.
But yeah, but now it's a question of, how do they
and
do
when.
it? How long is it gonna,
Yeah, how long?
will it be,
Yeah.
will it be at the very beginning of next season, or is it gonna take a few episodes?
That's a very funny story, actually, because I guess they had already, the writing room had kind of already prepared a little bit how they would open up season 6.
Mm.
And then they realized when they saw the final moments of this episode that they just got fucking boned by the effects department. Because, so we see in the last moments of the episode, the Defiant and the Rotaran go fly along and join up with the massive fleet that just came back from destroying, Tauros 3.
Yeah.
And not helping them at all. Fuck you guys. And that was supposed to be the end of the episode right there, is 2 ships join a bigger fleet of ships. The end. But what the effects department read that as, because, it's a logical leap to say, okay, the fleet is coming to meet up with, coming towards Deep Space Nine. These 2 little ships are going away from Deep Space Nine. So when they join up with them, they're going to have to turn around. So the end moment that we see is the Defiant and the Rotaran turning around, heading back towards Deep Space Nine, and the writers realized, that means they're going to be right back here at the very top of the next episode, which we were not planning for. Son of a bitch.
They always could have ignored it, but yeah.
Maybe they're going out for ice cream first. I don't know.
Well, the other thing is, too, that fleet was 2 days away. We don't actually know which way it was pointed.
Yeah.
They turn around. It turns out they're actually orbiting Breen.
Yeah, there's big war now. They
Yeah.
could be going anywhere, doing any kind of war shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so many ships that we see. And I know, this was one of the last uses of physical models in Deep Space Nine. I think the first episode of season 6 is, when they stop is, the last that we really see physical models, and they really transfer to CGI.
Oh, dear.
So this episode is just, a mix of CGI and physical models, and was a lot of fucking work.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because I know, in the fleet, you've got, a mix of TNG, and
Oh, yeah.
there's like a couple of galaxies. I
There's
spotted
a bunch
couple
from
of,
First Contact.
and those I think were never models. So
I think you're right, yeah.
So those all had to be the CG ones. There was, some Excelsiors, some Mirandas. Those could have been a mix, because one of the Excelsiors looked a little weird, and I kind of wondered if it was a CG.
Yeah,
I
I know
was just
in that
surprised
final
we didn't
scene.
see, like, we saw a lot of Galaxy class ships in that fleet.
Yeah.
And I was a little surprised that there are so many Galaxy class ships still.
Well, they have to send families off to get killed in battle.
I was gonna say, but I thought we'd see more of the Sovereign class and the Intrepid class, just since those have been established now.
Yeah. I feel like you don't really ever see a Sovereign. I think the
No.
problem is they're afraid if people see a Sovereign, they're going to assume it's the Enterprise.
True.
But all you have to do to avoid that is just have two.
Ha, true. At least one of them isn't the Enterprise.
Yeah.
One of them green.
Yeah. So I
Paint
know
both
in
of
that
them
final
green.
scene,
Fuck it.
that the Defiant and the Rotaran are CGI because there was just no way to do a tracking shot with models of them doing the turnaround because there'd be nowhere to mount the things.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they do with CGI going forward, I guess.
Just imagining that the turnaround, I know we've already seen it, but it's like really shitty, like from the show Reboot, and it's just like really, really
you've
slow,
clearly
like...
not seen early season Babylon 5.
I haven't.
Because
No.
Babylon 5 was notable as being like one of the first shows to only do CG for their spaceships.
Bet that's aged well.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
no.
definitely
It's like one
sarcasm.
of the reasons why I've had such a hard time. Like, I've wanted to watch Babylon 5 for a long time, and I just had a really hard time getting past how poorly the CG has aged.
Save Babylon 5, because if Star Trek ever ends, sometime 30 years from now, we'll need something to be podcasting about.
That's fair.
Well, they actually just lost one of their major actors this week.
Huh?
Babylon 5, one of the, I guess, main actors from it just passed away. She was only 65.
That's sad.
Yeah. God, I was actually thinking about the fact that we're coming up on DS9 CG, and some of it has not aged well. And
no.
I was thinking have any of you seen The Last Starfighter?
I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
Nope.
It was a late 80s science fiction movie.
I never saw the first Starfighter, so I wouldn't get it.
And it was one of the first movies to use a lot of CG. And by a lot, I mean, I think it used maybe 15 minutes, but, this is the late
Still
80s.
a lot.
It was,
That's still
Yeah.
asking a lot of editors when they haven't done this sonic thing before.
Yeah, it just, nowadays we're fucking 95% of a movie is CG. 15 minutes doesn't sound like much. But, oh boy, it has not aged well.
Is the last Starfighter late 80s? I feel like it's early.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up. Let's see.
Okay.
Enjoy.
But yeah, it's funny because there's actually, I was thinking
1984. Right now.
wow.
Well, it's mid-80s.
But I thought it was 88, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the CG from that has not aged well. But I was also thinking of it because I feel like in this episode, Weyoun and Dukat have those big, bulky, shoulder-mounted, display things.
Yeah, I got very confused by those. How do they work?
I think they're supposed to just be, their own personal view screens, and presumably they're, beamed right in their eye or something, like a Google Glass.
We've mentioned them before in the ship.
Oh, I missed it, so explain yourself.
They found them because they noticed that, there's no view screen. Oh, they must use these things.
Okay,
But
so they beam directly into your eyes, or?
Probably.
Is it
Or it's
like
a
Google
heads-up
Glass?
display.
Yeah, that's what I
it might
said,
be more
yeah.
like a Google Glass.
Okay. Well, how are they projecting? How are they projecting themselves? There's just cameras somewhere?
I don't know. It's fucking
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of
Star
sense.
Trek. There must be cameras on the other ships too,
That's
right?
all, well, you assume it's kind of like, a
The view
laptop
screen
where the camera's right above the view screen or something.
Maybe them appearing on view screens is just so that the audience understands it and it isn't really happening. Maybe it's all theoretical and it's just for us idiots.
But I feel like, don't they make those less bulky going forward?
Yeah, they get smaller. I think when we see
Because I feel like in The Last Starfighter they have very similar little plastic eyepiece things that a lot of them wear, and I was like, I feel like I remember them looking more like that.
Well, it was making me think of the thing that Luke has at the end of A New Hope, kind of, that he turns off.
Oh, his, like, periscope thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they had to slim those down, because you could tell that, like, both, I can't think of their real names at the moment, but Ducat and Wayun. Thank you, Mark Alemo and
Jeffrey Combs.
They both kind of like leaning away from it, like, this fucking thing he's poking me in the ear. And they are very distracting as an audience member.
Yeah, a little bit. It looks like you got like just a crane sticking out of your shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And only the Vorta and Ducat in this case, but on a normal ship with just Vorta and Jem'Hadar, I'm guessing only the Vorta. Maybe the first?
Yeah, maybe the first, I was going to say.
Is this Cardassian technology or Dominion technology?
Dominion.
Do you know?
It's Dominion, because we see it's introduced for the ship.
Although they also
the
clearly...
ship! Okay, yes, you're right.
They clearly installed at least one other regular panel, though, because Damar was reading off of something, and he didn't have a shoulder crane.
Speaking of fun props and what the fuck they were, I read that the mines that they were planting were actually composters from a gardening catalog.
Nice.
Oh, I love stuff like that.
That was a fun detail.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, overall, like, a lot of stuff happens this episode. But it's like, what was the one last week, or last season, Broken Link? Where it's mostly setting up for the next season, where it doesn't really feel like an episode, it just feels like you're putting a lot of pins up at the end of a bowling alley.
I mean, there's some...
And it's a great bowling alley.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting, because it's also some amount of payoff, because, I mean, it's like, they've been building to this, really theoretically, since they introduced the Dominion.
Yeah.
Like, we knew eventually this was coming, and I forgot how long they let it properly simmer. Like, only when it finally happens, you're like, Jesus, they've been building to this for ages.
Yeah, they have.
And that's ballsy. Like,
yeah.
To take a series that, you know, is following on from two shows that aren't really serialized, and this one isn't fully serialized, but to have, like, you know, like, theoretically, you could mostly watch TOS and TNG in almost any order and basically be fine.
Yeah.
With
TOS
this one,
more than TNG, though.
Yeah, like, TNG had a bit more internal continuity, certainly.
You know what it is, I think, honestly, is that TNG can be split into, like, pre-Locutus and post-Locutus. Because I feel like that's the thing that gets brought up a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point. But with this one, like, you could really, if you jumped in now, you'd never seen a DS9, you put this on, you'd be like, the fuck?
You'd be like, oh, this isn't Star Trek. Oh, sorry, wait. I don't understand how people don't like this series. I was just saying that to Chris, like, it's the best. This is the best Star Trek, and people that don't like it are wrong.
In those people's defense, I would say, if you are into the story of the week, monster of the week style of Star Trek, or
there's only an occasional episode of that.
Yeah, after the first season.
But
and, also I think that there's...
But you can like those things and still like the series.
Well, yeah, you can. But I think the other thing people really liked about TOS and TNG is that sense of exploration, where, they're, we're going out to strange new worlds.
Strange new worlds were, like, always the same quarry, and we're always meeting, like, extremely humanoid aliens. Like, I don't know.
Of course.
I just feel... I don't know. I
mean, I agree with you. I think DS9 is tops, but
it really
I understand where those people come from.
It's really
like, because I can see, like, it was hard too, especially because this started while TNG was still going, and it's like, wait, you're just gonna have two shows that are about essentially the same thing? So they're kind of between a rock and a hard place. Like, well, we can't just have another show that's about just exploring, because then it's like, why split resources between two shows? Why not just pick one? And yeah, like, I think, the first season or two was a lot of, like, it's still, in a way, weird stuff, but it has to come to them.
Yeah, like Pup, who's dead now.
Yes. Good riddance.
Well, but plus, like, I mean, honestly, though, this show is, like you said, it coming to them, but it isn't just that. They're the ones who are getting to know the Gamma Quadrant. No one else is getting to know the Gamma Quadrant, and, like, sure, they don't spend a lot of time there, but they're still having to deal with what is coming from, like, having made a connection to this new part of their world, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why people would think like they'd rather have spent maybe more time in the Gamma Quadrant, which, who knows, maybe that had been the idea, but then they hit upon this sort of course they wound
Isn't
up
it
on.
kind of fun not knowing? I don't know.
You know, well, and then Voyager sort of tries to do like, all right, well, let's do exploration again, but with a twist.
Well, and they're concurrent. Are they on by now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, fine. So that's good. So you can have both. You can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah,
I just think like especially the tone
yeah,
of
the tone is so
Deep
different.
Space Nine, like once we really start learning about the Dominion, it starts getting like very serial and it starts getting occasionally repetitive, I'll say. Where it's like, oh, there's Jem'Hadar fighting us again. Boop, boop, boop. Shoot him with phasers. Go invisible for a minute.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think
would agree that the space fights are like the least interesting thing. But
Yeah, and we're in the middle of war now, so I'm a little concerned because I don't remember much of season 6. So it's like, do I really just want to watch war for several episodes? But I know like all the characters are what they get like the most right. And I'm really invested in all of these characters. And now they're split up, which is interesting.
yeah.
I'm really excited to see the relationship between Wayun and Odo.
Ooh,
Like,
that would be fun.
I don't know how long, like you said, like how long Cardassians and or Dominion folk are even going to be on Terok Nor. But hey,
Love it.
Didn't
Love
you
hearing
mean
that.
Terok Nor? Get the fuck out of here, Gul Dukat.
Yeah, and come to my room.
Disgusting, sexy bastard. Anyway,
Accurate. That's the perfect description of it.
stupid, sexy Flanders. Is that
I
what you're gonna say?
was going to say stupid, sexy Ducat.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just the way Wayun reacted to Odo's presence, I feel like that's going to be really interesting.
And funny. It is kind of funny because Jeffrey Combs is hilarious.
And Odo's like, I'm
not one of your leaders.
The other thing that's going to be interesting is to see how much more obvious Dukat is about, like, I don't give a fuck about your non-aggression pact with the Bajorans, because he's already made it, like, abundantly clear that his whole thing is, no, I really just want to fuck Bajor again, literally and figuratively.
Both of them.
And it's gonna be, I don't know, that's gonna be, like, interesting, because I just feel like Dukat can't not be duplicitous.
No.
So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, he's with the Dominion right now because it's convenient, but eventually I feel like he's definitely going to make his move.
Yeah.
How much of what Wayun said about Cardassia being like starving and sad do we think was true when he was talking to Benjamin about that?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's impossible to tell because, like, Wayun's a liar. But on the other hand, like he says, Cardassia is super proud.
Yeah, it's
And I
very
could
it's very North Korea-y, where it's like on the outside they can only show strength, whilst the inside, like everyone's crumbling and starving.
Well, I feel like they were trying to. So you know, the arc we have for Cardassia is they have, you know, sort of the military rule that goes up, you know, and there's the and that goes all the way until and a little bit after the war with the Federation, and then we're told that there's a civilian government put in place, and they're the ones that you know throw Dukat out on his ass, and then
Sexy
Dukat's
ass.
back with a vengeance. And I feel like they're really going for like a Weimar Republic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's true. You mentioned
idea
that before,
with
and
the
that's
civilian
right.
government.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if the biggest issue with, or there were many issues, but one of the biggest issues with the Weimar Republic was how economically depressed Germany was.
Yeah, they had,
you know,
hyperinflation worse than anyone.
Yeah. So, you know, and it kind of sowed the seeds, or, you know, at least laid the groundwork on which, you know, the Nazis were able to rise to power. I feel like they're really going for that parallel with Cardassia.
Yeah.
it's a good one.
And
A
certainly,
Little more like it's very political,
yeah.
but it can be interesting because also like it's politics through these characters who
Yeah.
are all like they've done a good job so far with Dukat specifically, I believe, just in terms of making him both evil but consistent at the same time.
That's exactly, I was going to say, he's consistent. Because at the end of the day, with Dukat is what's best for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Everything he does, if looked at through the lens of what is best for me, every one of his decisions pretty much, I think, makes sense.
Yeah, and even like you can tell already that he was not entering this deal with the Dominion in good faith.
Oh, not at all.
They were a means to an end for him.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And, he's probably happy, if anything, that the Dominion shipyards are destroyed and the wormhole is mined, because it means that,
That'll make him
the Dominion,
breaking
like,
free way
he's
easier.
now got more power here than the rest of the Dominion.
Yeah.
Yep. He's if anything, he's lucky because he probably bit off more than he could chew until this happened.
Yeah.
Like, I think he maybe did somewhat underestimate their deal.
So he would definitely never admit it.
Oh, no. God, no.
This is his plan all along.
But I also don't think I don't think he realized it even necessarily.
Probably not.
It's hard to say.
He's
with him.
nothing if not arrogant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to mention our other friends who are left at the station, because they do something that I kept thinking was going to end differently when Kira and Odo start interacting. And it's awkward as fuck, because I realized since Children of Time, they haven't talked.
Yeah.
They haven't done a fucking thing together in the show.
Sounds like everybody else has noticed also.
Yeah, and it's awkward as shit. And somehow Dax never picked up on it, which I don't believe for a fucking second.
She's too busy nursing her sex wounds from Worf.
Ooh.
Hot. But no, they do this interesting thing where it's like, Odo comes to her and says, I was thinking of asking you out, but I won't, because that'll be weird. And I kept thinking, like, the way Kira is responding, she's like, yeah, it makes sense for us to not have to deal with this for a while, because, war and shit. And for, like, a hot second, I'm watching the scene like, and this is when they bang.
Yeah,
No?
they're gonna make out any
Just
second.
me? Damn it.
I also could have seen it. It felt like, I've been thinking of asking you out. I've been waiting for this moment, and I'm not gonna do it. And then they embrace passionately.
Yeah.
And then,
I was totally reading that as a moment of them just both letting their guards down. But that's not what happened.
I kind of did love the idea, though, of, like, they both immediately relaxed when they were like, oh god, we don't have to think about this for a bit. We can just be concerned about war. I'm so relieved.
Yay,
Which,
war!
For Kira
that is
especially.
Kira's comfort zone for
yeah,
sure.
like, that has been her default state for so long.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Yeah. Yeah, what's really going to be interesting, though, is are they going to go back to what they were doing during the occupation, right? Because Odo is still, I guess, the chief of security under Dukat now.
Yep.
And during the occupation, we've seen that, he was somewhat of a collaborator.
He's a bastard cop.
And, Kira, obviously, I think she's already showing signs that she's going to be doing her own private resistance to whatever's going on here.
Yeah.
Well, thank God she'll have Rom to help her out acting as a spy in the bar.
Well, Rom is officially a spy for Starfleet.
Say that again, Chris?
Rom officially is a spy for Starfleet.
But he admits it the second someone asks. He's the
brother.
spy.
Listen, Quark kissed him on the back of his head. He's feeling especially close to... Wow. He is feeling especially close to Quark right now. That was very difficult.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I hated Rom this whole episode long, though.
Oh,
so.
same.
Oh, really?
Everything he did, I was very opposed
Also, him
to.
being like, oh, I'm suddenly afraid of marriage. Fuck you. You're
That-
not.
What if we took away the napkins of your dress? Then you'd be naked like a Ferengi woman. Shut up, Rom.
Yeah, no, Rom, we already did this a couple episodes ago. It was stupid then. Let's not do this.
I hated the dress sequence. That was fucking dumb. Because, again, it's been addressed, like you said. I did enjoy, though, him, like, somehow being all tense about marriage, but then also basically single-handedly coming up with the solution to
that was kind of fun.
mind problem. Like, again,
He's an idiot savant.
Yeah, he's a really good engineer.
Yikes.
I loved the scene between him and Quark in the little room where him and Quark had sort of a moment. And Quark, it's telling that we've said before that Quark, although he tries to hide it, is also not great at the whole Ferengi thing. Because in reality, like, him allowing Rom to stay there knowing full well what Rom is up to is putting himself in danger.
Yeah, but he'd
That's
throw
true.
Rom under the bus, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not necessarily going to save him, It's like,
I was going to say, if he knows, that's not necessarily going to help him.
Yeah, like, I their relationship is, I think, really interesting.
It is. I just can't fucking stand Rom. And the other stupid thing he did was, the second they get married, he's like, well, Lita, now you have to go away because I've decided you're leaving.
I don't know, I'm fine. Bye, Lita. I mean, I'm not happy that Rom did that, but I am
she never got to have
glad
a say.
to see her go.
Eh.
Well, I think it wasn't so much, like, I think she just assumed he was coming with her.
I don't know.
That was the point of...
Her expectation was, we'll be together, we're married now.
Yeah.
And he made the decision by himself that that's not what's going to happen. Hate him.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. I hadn't thought of it that way, but I
Well,
was just overjoyed that she was leaving. Though I would like to know, like, did he watch Casablanca while drinking his root beer to get his little
probably.
going away speech, or was this like a chimpanzees accidentally writing Shakespeare type of situation?
No.
Where
Knowing
we're
Star
just
Trek
supposed to-
writers, knowing them, they did it on purpose.
No. I know they did it on purpose. I'm asking if Rom did it on purpose. I did.
I get you.
No.
Yes,
I give
that's
the
it.
writers way more credit than that. I just, I'm wondering if, like...
I could totally picture him sitting there watching that movie, drinking his root beer, and really liking that line. I just need to not say hill of beans.
So, I seem to remember, maybe I'm totally misremembering this, but that Lita had a new job, that she had her own.
Well, she was working
like-
at the gym job.
Yeah, we
Was
saw
that
her work.
part-time? Maybe it was part-time.
I don't know. I thought she quit Quarks at one point.
I think
I
that's
thought
while...
Quarks was closed and she had to find a new job.
Yeah, that's while Quarks was closed during Ferengi Love Songs.
Oh, is that why? Is that
Yeah.
why she had a second job? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I
Jumja
don't remember
sticks.
her quitting. or
Jumja, that's
anything.
it.
Yeah, and it's probably, let's be honest, probably way better money as a Dabo girl than as a Jumja Stick
Yeah,
stellar.
as long
'cause-
as you can put up with all the sexism from your boss.
Yeah. Well, she's had a lot of practice. But, presumably you get, happy, like any croupier, you probably get tips and stuff, and if someone's done particularly well, they'll throw you a nice sizable tip.
Yeah, but I can imagine also the clients getting, handsy and shit. Yeah, drunk people at casinos.
Oh, God.
Beauregard plants with their hand puppets.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and I feel like the dress scene, I didn't like the dress scene either, and it seemed like that was more or less just a way for Zial to have relevance in this episode. And I think the only reason she's even here is to let us know that she still exists.
I mean, yeah, and also to show what's going to happen to Garrick now.
Yeah, well,
Which
Garrick's
I
gone.
forget. What's happening to Garrick now? Because so much happened.
He left with Sisko. He left with
Sisko. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
But Zial now
Goes to Bajor.
is on Bajor, so presumably she'll come back, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Her dad, now that her dad's on the scene.
Oh, that's true. That'll be
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, in that scene.
Their little kiss was so gross.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, in their
And
little
he
scene.
looked like he didn't like it. Sorry, Ames.
That's okay. No, in their scene, so Garrick starts telling a story about, like, oh, I once knew a spy, a great spy, who was exiled from his planet, and things turned out great for him. And Zial's like, yeah, I know, you're really great. And he's like, yeah, I am. But they never, was the story just about him? I expected there to be a twist, and it was actually, like, the Lion King or something, and it was about Simba going and living with Timon and Pumbaa.
Listen,
The twist was Zial thought he was straight and kissed him.
I was gonna say
That
I
was
was
the
gonna
twist.
say the writers
Perfect.
just need to make sure that we were aware that Garrick had a raging case of the not-a-gaze.
Yikes.
Dude, because he makes this face while she's, like, right after she kisses him. He, like, blinks his eyes a shitload and looks nervous. I'm like, it seems to me he was just like, nope, still gay.
I would argue that Garrick is bisexual. Only because years ago, not in our time, but in Showtime, there was I think the first Anabrantain episode when he, like, was talking to Anabran's maid or whatever. There was definitely a sense of, like,
No.
you two, we talked about it at the time.
Yeah,
We
but
were like,
she
you
was way
guys do
older
stuff
than
fun.
him.
Yeah, that's like
So?
his
Was the
nanny.
impression I got.
you know?
I don't think
yeah,
he was into
I think
her.
that
think
woman
that-
was like either if not his mother, then his, like, his wet nurse or something.
Oh, I didn't think about her being mommy.
Yes, because at the time it wasn't established that he was an Oberyn's kid. Now I gotta go rewatch that scene.
Yeah.
He's definitely. I don't think.
Mila.
I think
mother.
Her name was Mila.
Julian is definitely chaotic bisexual.
Oh goodness,
but
yes.
Garrick, I think, is just gay, and that's great. I love that about him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they had made this show today,
Oh yeah.
he would have just been a gay character.
There would be sex scenes.
And that would have
Julian
been part
would be
of the
so
reason
fun.
why he was so disdained among Cardassians, because I don't imagine Cardassians being very open.
And that
Probably
would be
not.
the new reason why people hate it so much. They'd be like, "Ugh, politically correct. Ugh, fucking assholes." Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Garrick could be gay, Julian could be canonically, not just theoretically bisexual. They definitely fuck.
Speaking of Garrick, though, we also get a rare Odo Garrick scene, which are some of my favorite scenes, because the two of them are, great together whenever they're in a room together.
Yeah.
And I really wanted Odo to deputize him.
Oh, yeah, that scene. I was like, when were they even together? I totally forgot about that.
You could deputize me. Not happening, Garrick.
I'm sure you'll
I'd
make yourself
sooner
useful.
deputize Quark.
I like that.
Yeah, if only he shot Gul Dukat that time.
Yeah. I like that there's a good, callback to that too, which,
Because I'd kind of have forgotten that scene.
Same.
So it was nice it's like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. And the idea that, everyone will regret that.
Yeah.
The whole station is going to regret it.
The fucking whole Alpha and probably Beta quadrants.
Although we also hear this episode, well, it sounds like it might just have been a rumor that the Romulans are now, they
In a
went off
non-aggression pact?
Non-aggression pact.
No, that's definitely true, because
Yeah,
they're
'cause then-
assholes.
Well, they didn't show up, did they?
Because,
we didn't see
And
them.
if the Dominion / Cardassia are the Nazis, the Romulans are definitely the Soviet Union, so it only makes sense.
well, that's the thing is which goes back really to TOS, because I always said, the way they were coded in TOS, the Vulcans were the East Asian countries we were allied with, and the Romulans were the communist East Asian countries.
Yeah.
What were the Klingons?
They're Soviets.
Yeah, they were in the TOS. They were Soviets.
Yeah, by TNG there's something else, but in TOS they are straight up Russia.
Huh.
But yeah, no, because the thing is, Sisko hears it as a rumor, says, "Get me Starfleet intelligence," and then they're in the meeting and everyone's pissed. So presumably, Starfleet intelligence confirmed it.
Oh yeah, because we also learn a whole bunch of other people are in this non-aggression pact. The Miradorn comes up, which is interesting.
Who's that again?
Oh god, I think it was in Vortex. It was the people who wanted to kill that guy who had. There were twins who wanted to kill the guy that had a sample of an Odo liquid.
You see, I thought Miradorn was the guy that played Worf from the Mirror Universe.
Son of a bitch.
That's good. That's good.
God damn it.
And the Tholians.
Yeah, they're around.
Haven't heard about them in a while.
What
What
a tangled web they weave.
That was good. I'm not gonna lie.
We've got some good Michael Dorn in this episode. The scene. God damn it. The scene where Jadzia kind of quasi proposes to him, or really just responds to his proposal.
She pre-accepts his proposal.
Well, he has proposed before.
Well, that's
Has he
true.
proposed, or has he just gone, "Ugh, you should marry me"? I don't know if that's
guarantee-
really...
knowing Worf, I 100%
Yeah.
guarantee every time after they plow, he starts crying and saying that they need to speak the words or whatever.
Yes, that.
What the hell was that sound?
A seal got in the
It
house.
was a seagull in Chris's throat.
It's interesting though, because I feel like in a way it does kind of even though knowing full well, yes, Jake, that is probably exactly what happens. In a weird way, they've kind of done it so that it's sort of her proposal in a way. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Especially in light of, again, everything with Lita and Rom being so,
Gross.
old school sexist. This being sort of not fully turned on its head, but definitely, turned a bit.
Yeah, we need a better wedding in the show, because so far the weddings we've got have either been ones that have been broken up by Romulan attacks,
Mm-hmm.
Miles and Keiko,
Luoxana several times.
Yep. All of the times Luoxana quasi got married.
Spoiler
And now this
alert,
Rom
there
Lita
is
thing.
the wedding episode is fantastic.
Oh, I look forward to it. I know her dress ends up being gorgeous, so.
Yeah.
Well, Terry Farrell is fucking stunning, so glad they do it up right for her.
Oh, yeah. There was so much that happened in this episode.
There's a lot. Yeah. It's a very full episode. But the thing is like, you know how a lot of the time we have these episodes where too much shit happens and you just feel like it doesn't work? I felt like this episode was great.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like, I mean, again, like, could I do without Rom and Lita entirely?
Always.
Yes. Always. 100%.
I have come to like Rom too much.
Yeah, you've come down to sympathize with Rom too much is what it is, Chris.
The writers fuck him on occasion, but overall, I have really enjoyed his arc. You know, I've said it before, like, I feel like his and his son's arcs are, to a certain extent, mirrors of each other, and I just love it.
They've done some good things with the character, but the fact that he still does a lot of, like, awful shit.
Yes, I wish they'd stop.
I just will not get on board. You're never gonna get me.
I wish they would, like, just let him be like, yeah, no, I'm not a Ferengi, because he isn't.
Yeah.
These stupid relapses, like, I feel like I was thinking, I feel like half the reason for the fucking wedding dress scene was just because Rick Berman wanted that picture of that woman.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, like, let's be real. If it wasn't for horny men in the audience, it should have been a Ferengi woman in the picture, not a human.
But then she'd be naked, and we can't show that on TV.
Well, it was also, no, because the picture was something that Garrick had given him as, like, here's a dress I can order.
His catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure the models in the catalog are Bajoran or human.
Yeah. Either way, I'm just gonna blame it on Rick Berman's boner.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
probably right. But yeah, like,
it's
looking
easy to
up
hate his boner.
and segueing into tops and bottoms, like, this one wasn't one of my tops, but I know on IMDb, this episode, Call to Arms, is, like, the second or third best of the season in terms of their ratings.
Of the
Like,
season?
the thing is...
Yeah, of this season.
I think it's interesting, because I was thinking about that, like, it's a really great episode, but you don't necessarily say it's a top individual, because it literally cannot stand on its own.
No, it's a setup.
You know, I mean, and that's going to be the hard part going forward. You know, I'm sure even some of our own tops and bottoms don't necessarily stand on their own. But
in that case, I know what Chris's tops are.
I do dread
Times arrow.
Like, I kind of wonder if we're just going to have to completely drop the whole top and bottom thing when we get to New Trek. Just because,
we
like,
are. There's no way.
It's so serialized.
There are
like,
no
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, in this show, even though it is serialized,
Plus, they're too short.
Like,
the seasons are so short.
Yeah.
You know, it's the arc isn't. I don't know. It's sort of pseudo serialized because each episode does still have a self-contained story.
That's true. Yes,
that it's telling. It's just part of a bigger story.
Yeah, there's always just too much going on.
Yeah. Whereas, like Picard and Discovery are just 8-hour movies.
Yeah, like the closest thing I can think of to a standalone episode from Discovery is like, and even this doesn't stand fully on its own, but Mudd and his like little time travel shenanigans in that one episode.
Yeah. I was going to say, though, there's the one episode, I think it was season 2, where they go to that planet with the church.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
That was fairly self-contained, although it was
still
an intro to a larger plot.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like those are going to be. Yeah, we just will not be able to.
No, we can find a new segment that we do at the end of seasons. That's like, so what was everyone's favorite scene?
What was everyone's favorite scene with Grudge?
All of them. Every scene with Grudge.
What?
Yes.
What crying face did Michael Burnham make that you liked the best?
This one.
All of them.
I do like. Like, she does cry so well. Like, I get why
I feel like
they
she
do
had to have
it.
been cast in part because her crying face is very.
Well, she's got
Very
happy
good.
crying.
I don't know.
She's got ugly crying.
Season 1, Burnham didn't cry that much. This might just be a hidden talent that they caught on to as they went on.
They saw her cry once. They're like, "Oh shit!"
But
let's structure every future episode around this.
I do feel like they lean on it a little too heavily. Let the poor woman. She has range. Let her use it.
Not gonna happen. I was also joking to Jake, and I don't know if this might be a terrible idea or a great idea. If and when, because I might fucking blow up in the meantime, we hit Lower Decks.
Oh no.
Instead of doing 2 episodes of Lower Decks or whatever, we should do an episode of Lower Decks and an episode of Futurama as a palate cleanser.
That could work.
It could work.
Anyway,
Anywho,
that's the future. We are in the
so
present.
Far.
we're in the present talking about the past.
Who wants to go first?
Not me.
Not Caitlin.
We doing tops or bottoms first? Bottoms then tops?
Bottoms.
That's usually what we do.
If I go first, I'm starting with tops.
Well, then I'll go first and start with bottoms. All right, so my bottoms probably, I don't know. I'm assuming that there's going to be a fair amount of agreement on the bottoms. I don't know. But because I don't know about you guys, but I found that choosing bottoms was not that hard this season.
No, they were.
But choosing tops was damn near impossible.
Oh.
Because I kept being like, oh, I want to put this on the top. Oh, but this one, you know.
Yeah, like
We're not
so
talking tops yet, Jake.
I will say that I actually, like, when I was doing my list, there were 2 that immediately stood out to me as bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, all right, so now what joins them? Like, there were a few that were like, like, I'm going to say, of my 3, my number 3 bottom is kind of just like, yes.
No,
Sure.
all mine are bad.
Yeah, I think mine are bad. And
But what are they
we'll
then,
see.
Jake?
We'll see if you agree. So I think first and foremost, let he who is without sin. That is the Risa episode
Mm-hmm.
with stupid Worf being
Yep.
stupid, and Jadzia and Julian.
And those fucking
and-
Westboro Baptist Church sons
the
of
fucking
bitches.
yep.
And we don't even
God
get to
hates Horgon people.
We don't even get to see Worf in the fucking gold Speedo after all
man.
that.
Seriously,
Yeah.
what a waste.
Well, they'd
What a
have to put the
fucking
ridges on his
tease.
back again, and they didn't want to do that. I
That's
bet.
true.
and trying
They
to
could have just showed us from the front.
double bulging. You know?
That's what I was thinking, too, yeah.
No!
Do you think?
He dresses
do you think
left,
Klingon
he dresses
underwear? You know,
left
like
and right.
so, like men's underwear usually has
Yeah, like
flaps
a
the
cod
balls.
piece sort of cut out on it. I wonder if Klingon underwear has a double piece
Yeah.
like that on the front. No.
Do you dress to the left or the right?
Yes.
All right. So anyway, so that's bottom of the bottom.
Absolutely. Power bottom.
A simple investigation
Mm-hmm.
is on my
Oh.
That's Odo with that woman.
Bad noir.
Oh, yeah.
Poorly
Okay.
done noir.
Man, all 3 of mine turn out to be romance plots.
They
Interesting.
don't often
Um,
get romance right.
Yeah, it's true. So then, if that didn't tip you off, my third bottom is Ferengi love songs.
But you love Ferengi episodes, Jake.
I don't love Ferengi. I like one Ferengi episode.
It's
God
Klingon
damn it!
episodes. He likes. I like.
I will
Ferengi
find the
episodes.
clip. I will re-listen to our whole fucking show until I find the clip. That is Jake saying, quote, Ferengi episodes are some of my favorite episodes.
I guarantee it was the first one because the ooh girl those whips.
Hot.
Oh man,
I mean, I'm
those
sure I've
electric
said something
whips.
like
I
that
love
before.
these motherfucking Ferengi episodes, girl.
I'm sure I've said something like that before, but I was probably
Drunk?
thinking at the time of the one episode that I really like that's a Ferengi episode, and I had blocked out
Venegas.
all of these shitty ones.
So the one with the whips.
Yeah, that's
that's
the
the
one.
best one.
Okay, great. Who's next?
Here, I'll go
you.
next.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, did you want to go next?
No,
Oh, hang
Chris
on,
was
Jake
trying to
is-
volunteer me. I don't
I'm
care.
Ferenging.
Jake is
Oh
Ferengi.
God.
Doing the Ferenge.
Oh my
I'll go
god!
next because I have a very
We should
simple
do a
list.
dance video.
God
Of
damn
the
it.
Of the
Ferengi.
Ferenge. It looks like
Oh, no.
Thriller.
It's like Thriller, but then you whip. You do
First you whip,
whip.
then you Ferenge.
Quick, Abe,
This is an
stop
audio
them.
medium. It
Ferengi.
doesn't work. Here we go, because my list is the exact same as Jake's, but in a slightly different order.
Woo!
Number 3, A Simple Investigation. Bad
Woo!
noir, bad Odo, bad mostly everything. Number 2, Let He Who is Without Sin ruined fucking Worf as a character and was pointless as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst of the season, and the worst that we've had in a while, I think, Ferengi Love Songs, a fucking cartoon show.
Well,
check,
okay.
check, and check.
Can't disagree with any of those things. I just realized that my bottom 3 should have been whichever episodes Worf mentions Alexander, because it happens twice, and then one that's actually really bad. So I had number 1, Let He Who Is Without Sin. Number 2, Ferengi Love Songs. And I did number 3, The Assignment.
Okay, yeah.
Just found it really boring.
It's pretty boring. That was
Just
down low
boring.
for me.
To me, like, a bad episode that's at least kind of interesting, like Odo's was kind of interesting, even though it was bad, that's better than bad and just fucking boring as shit. So that's where I'm at.
I'm surprised, because I thought you liked Ferengi Love Songs, Caitlin.
That's the thing, though, is, like, I think I even liked Let He Who Is Without Sin. It was still a terrible episode.
Okay,
like,
yeah, okay.
I feel like
You can enjoy bad things, but they're still bad.
Oh my god, I enjoy so many bad things. Have I mentioned how frequently I listen to this podcast? Oh, I mean,
I love you. I love it so much.
I love you too. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
So my bottom 3, from least bad to most bad. And again, like I said, my third is like a,
What is it?
Things Past.
Is that the
Which
one
one's
where we see Odo be a bad cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one where they have the hallucination.
Because I feel like they didn't commit to, like, Odo being a bad cop enough.
I agree with that. That makes sense.
Because it's less that he was actively, like, a conspirator and more, I just didn't feel like doing my job that day.
Mm.
So I really feel like they kind of fucked, they waffled so badly that it really didn't affect my opinion of him much.
You can't
Really
say waffle
waffle
without me
stomped.
thinking waffle stomp.
He really waffle stomped that episode.
Oh my god. I was telling somebody about Five Guys, and they finished it for me. They were like, oh, 5 Guys, 1 cup. I was like, nailed it. Okay.
Ooh, now I want 5 guys.
Next, The Darkness and the Light.
Oh.
Which one was that?
Okay.
The one where some mysterious figure was taking out all of Kira's friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pharrell's friend die.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, they die
Yeah,
shittily
stupid.
off screen, and, like, the ultimate reveal is like, it's me! And you're like,
Who are you?
because it's literally no one.
Kira's like, for you it was the day that I destroyed your village.
Yeah.
For me it was
Tuesday.
Tuesday. And he was like,
Like, it was just, like, such an unsatisfying villain. A really shitty waste of, like, her friends. It's like, and I guess that's realistic in a
Yeah,
way, but
it
it's like,
is,
it's
wasn't it?
television.
That's what sucks about Star Trek. They kill really great, really great characters on really shit episodes.
Yeah.
I'm angry about Sarek dying all over again now.
Yep. You know, it was just like, oh, really? And I think we also talked about that was one where it, like, felt like Kira had kind of regressed a little, and
Yeah.
it was just not good. And surprising no one, Let He Who Was Without Sin. Just fucking up Worf for no good reason, no consequences for it. Like, terrible episode. The worst
Yeah.
of the season for
Jadzia
me.
should have broken up with him there.
Or at least kicked him in the dick a little. Like,
Which dick? The left.
whichever one is more sensitive.
Is Let He Who Is Without Sin, did we already say, is that the lowest rated episode? Or
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
5 point something. I was literally just looking at it. Hold on. 5.6.
Yeah.
And
So
I
it
think
seems
the
like-
next lowest is like 6.7.
Yeah, and that's
It's a simple
probably
investigation.
Alamarine or something.
No. Sorry,
Or-
this season, I mean. 6.7
Oh, this
was a
season,
simple
this season.
investigation. Yeah,
Oh.
no, I'm just talking about.
All right, well, shall
Wait,
we go
did
for
you
the
told us all 3 of yours?
Yep.
Okay.
Shall we go for the tops?
So who's next then? So it's Jake?
Just, yeah, go back in the order we did before.
So these are in no particular order, I
All
guess.
right, good.
This was a lot harder.
It was.
This was a lot harder because
I-
there
There
were
were
so many
so
episodes.
many candidates.
Yeah, because basically what came down to for me, so there were episodes that maybe I liked elements of them better than ones that made it onto my top, but I feel like so many great episodes this season kind of got bogged down in mediocre B plots.
I had the same fucking problem. I kept
Um,
having ones that it's like, oh, I like this one. What was the B plot? Oh, fucking garbage that dragged the rest of the episode down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just chose 3 that didn't have B plots.
There we go.
And they are, again, in no particular order, although, no, this one's the best. Children of Time,
Okay.
the Ship,
Ooh.
Mhm. It's a good
and Apocalypse Rising,
Oh, neat.
which was the season opener where they
Okay, yep.
kill Martok. Kill Martok 1.0.
Yeah. Well, technically, that's Martok 2.0, because
That's
real
true.
Martok came first.
Fair.
Yeah. Yep.
Several Martoks in. Granted, we also don't know how many changeling Martoks there have been.
That is true.
Many. I can guarantee you there's still one out there right now that doesn't know he's been killed. But yeah, no, I had the same problem with my tops list for this season because there were two that I knew, like, these two are in the top.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a couple that were like, I like these, but would I put these in the top, or are they just good episodes? I was very, very close to saying Looking for Parmok in all the right places.
Mm.
But it had that really shitty fucking B-plot in which, oh no! Miles and Kira might like each other!
Oh
and
god, that was that episode?
And
Oh.
I cannot
Season?
put that episode in my favorites now.
Yeah, god, I forgot that went with that episode.
Yeah, like,
Ugh.
there
So
were a whole
much
bunch.
check yes in this show.
There were so many that were good, except then you think, oh right, but then also in that episode this stupid thing happened, like the Begotten, the one where Odo has
Yep.
a little babby changeling.
But that was
But
also the birth
also-
episode.
Say again?
That was also the birth episode.
Yeah, but also not Shakar. No, yeah, Shakar.
Yeah, Shikar.
Yeah, shit car.
Shitkar. Shitkar's here being a fucking wet blanket about it. It's like, damn it, they can't
Yeah.
balance episodes this season.
I actually
No.
had The Begotten on my list, and I swapped it out when I remembered that it had that on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was also considering The Begotten for a while.
like it's got such a great A plot, but then I feel like, in that one with like Blaze of Glory had a shitty B plot. There were a bunch of shitty B plots that were going around.
Definitely.
What was the B plot in Blaze of Glory? Was that where, like, Nog wanted
Nog
respect?
Yeah, Nog and Klingons don't get along.
Yeah, at least that was short.
Yeah, but it was still
Kinda like Nog.
Oh,
I love Nog.
yeah.
See,
so-
I have come to love Nog. Chris has come to love Rom.
Oh no, I love Nog too.
I am
Nog's
the one
the
who
best.
is correct.
yeah, I agree with Caitlin.
I just also love Rom.
I know.
No, Nog's
I'm
arc
just saying,
is fucking
I
fantastic.
came around for Nog. I have not come around for Rom.
That's
You have
fair.
come around for Rom. You always like Nog. Fine.
Well-
Anyway.
Anyway,
Sorry, Ames.
so my actual top three that I ended up going with ended up surprising me a little bit because I kept like looking at one episode and being like, I like you. I don't know if I want you in my top three because there's all these other episodes, but I can't see picking any of them either.
The
Yeah.
episode's
So-
like, if you like me, check yes.
Yes. Like Shakar, that fucking
Exactly.
prick.
Mm.
So my third ended up like totally surprising me because again, I wanted it to be Looking for Parmok in all the right places or wrong places, all the places, but it ended up being in the cards.
Oh, it's such a good episode.
And I said,
Which
"What
is
are you
really good.
doing here? I like you, but I really shouldn't. But I like."
What is that one again?
That's the baseball card one.
We just
Oh yeah,
watched
that
it
was a
last
cute
week.
episode. I
It's
liked
so
that.
earnest.
Yeah, and it's Jake Sisko is fabulous in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have a stupid B plot,
True.
so
Yeah.
it got extra points
Yeah,
for
the B
that.
plot's actually good in that one.
Well, and they
Yeah.
dovetailed.
Yeah. Another great episode featuring Jake Sisko with a great B plot that dovetailed is my number 2, Nor the Battle to the Strong,
Mm-hmm.
which I fucking love. That's a great
good one.
episode.
Mhm.
Agreed, yeah.
That was in consideration for me
Yeah,
too.
that's a really good one. And my number 1, I'm going to agree with Jake, is Children of Time, an absolutely fascinating story of time travel.
Yeah. All good choices. I'm about to ruin everyone's thing.
But not before I do.
Oh, right.
Chris
No
is just going to pick Time Zero again.
Yep.
Times arrow 3 times. I said, in no particular order, Children of Time, because it was really good. Nor the Battle to the Strong, because I loved it. And I said By Inferno's Light,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
because
I
I
kept-
was...
Trying to think if there was a way to pick between that and Purgatory Rising.
Well, I honestly don't remember, like, which was which, but this one had the better rating by 0.1. So I said, okay, that's the better one. But, like, just that whole two-parter, like, just had me going, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I sounded like fucking Shia LaBeouf, for
You did.
Christ's sakes. So, yeah.
Or David Tennant at the
Yeah.
end of a season of Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Or Macklemore.
Mm.
Anyway.
No, that's a good
So,
choice.
Thank you.
I had a very hard time. A lot of what you guys said was definitely in consideration for me.
But you have no overlap.
Times arrow.
Fuck, I don't think I do.
Times
Whoa!
Let's hear it.
Well, perhaps surprising no one, Ferengi love songs.
Ew.
I don't like Chris.
I loved that episode. It made me so
Why?
happy.
I think I expected more from you.
It was
I do.
just fun.
I always expect more from Chris.
I mean, it can still be fun, but one of the top 3 really.
I really enjoyed it, yeah.
All right. Everyone's
Chris
entitled.
just really enjoyed how upset it made me, I think.
Oh no, I genuinely loved it just on watching. I remember thinking, like, when it was over, it's like, this might make my tops and everyone's gonna kill me.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to. I've already sent you, like, one of those replicating mines in space.
There we go. Well, just be careful, because she lives with me, so.
What?
Send one of those little floaty things from, Things Past that can choose a specific target.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, make it smash through his window.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Blaze of Glory.
Hey.
Because I was torn. I was like, all right, I'm not going to put both Eddington episodes on there, which was the better one. And it's Blaze of Glory because it just had more time with Sisko and Eddington together.
They were
This
cute.
is the second one, right? Not
Yeah,
not
this is
the
when he
one
dies.
That's where we
Not Les
lose
Mis?
Eddington.
Yeah, not Les Mis,
Yeah, that
less
was a
talk of
great
Javert.
episode.
And again, like, the two of them together so much antagonizing each other was just too good.
Yeah, they were good, but I did hate the B plot.
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. That's my number 1.
What?
So it's Ferengi Love Songs. My number 2 is Trials and Tribulations.
Mm.
Because it's Trials and Tribulations and it's fun.
Yeah, I knew you would.
And then Blaze of Glory.
You know the thing
That
is,
is
I
a
like
weird list.
Trials and Tribulations, but it was never anywhere near my top list.
Oh, yeah, no, I adore that episode.
Yeah, see, I
It's
saw
a
that
cute
one as being
episode,
kind
it's
of,
just-
it's a novelty episode, right?
Yeah. On its
Which,
own,
and
it's
it's
not
fine.
great.
It's enjoyable to watch.
Wow. Well, real nice. You made Ames do twice as much work now.
Sorry, Ames.
That's fine. I am going to snark you in the Tumblr post when it goes
Oh,
up.
I know. I'm sure this is, like, the worst I've done since I picked Times Arrow Part 1.
See, Times Arrow Part 1, I could at least say Data is kind of fun. The costuming was all great.
And it's the
I
first
don't
appearance of...
forget Samuel Clemens.
I've already tried to forget Samuel
Oh, Guinan was
Clemens.
in
And-
it. Guinan's
And
good.
it is the first appearance of Mark Alemo in Star Trek.
Oh, well, in that
No,
case.
it's not.
Wait, was that before the one with Captain Fuckface?
Captain Fuckface. Great, Jane.
The one where he appears as the Cardassian, but
Oh!
I believe it's after that, but it's also well after when we see him as a Romulan in the neutral
Oh,
zone.
yeah, I forgot he was a Romulan
that's right. He was
once.
in neutral zone.
All right, but hey, it's got Mark Alemo in it either way.
That's
Okay.
It's got him as an old West gambler. So
Yes,
that
which
works.
is kind of great.
But yeah,
So,
no,
yeah.
Ferengi love songs, I can't find anything to like about Chris.
Oh, see, I loved
think
it.
I mean,
It
the
had-
action
I-
figures were fun.
The action figures were fun.
I'm always fascinated by these glimpses of the absolute nightmare that is the Ferengi society and trying to make sense of it.
That is what the writers have shot themselves in the foot with over and over and over again.
Yep,
Brunt was good.
Brunt's
He was
always
very
good.
diabolical, which I like about Brunt. And
Yeah,
Caitlin's
new
trying to
movie
be
I don't
charitable.
like.
yeah, well, I just don't like the.
I did
just
like-
don't like the new movie.
I did like
miss
original
old
Moogie better. It is a
Mm.
shame she left.
Oh, I
mean, I
noticed
don't
that. I
blame her,
noticed that. Rom referred to Lita as Nog's Moogie.
That's weird.
No, I think Nog called her Moogie.
No, he just called her Moog. I don't think he actually called her Moogie.
Oh,
I think there was the scene where I thought there was a moment where Rom was like, "Oh, now take your Moogie to the ship or whatever."
Oh, I
he,
missed
he
that.
might have, but yeah, Rom. I mean, Nog. Jesus,
Nog
Nog did
called
it
him
first.
Moog.
He said hi, Moog or whatever,
Mm.
which was cute.
Apparently, that just means mother.
Yeah,
It's not.
Then
It's
why
not a
isn't
term of
it
endearment.
translating?
yeah. Well, that's the oldest Star Trek issue in the book, and
Yeah. Something else I forgot to mention when we were talking about the episode, and I did want to get this in there,
Yeah.
totally.
and that is they have these self-replicating mines.
Mhm.
The self-replicating mines have cloaking devices.
Yeah,
So apparently, the Federation has no problem. They know exactly how to make cloaking devices. Like, there's no.
yeah.
It's not a technology issue,
No,
and
they just said they wouldn't put them on ships.
but they'll put them on anything else.
Yeah. Yep.
Man. The captain of the Pegasus, whose name is lost. Not
John
John
Locke.
Locke. God damn it. I've forgotten his name.
Yeah, we know who you mean, though.
He's
Not
rolling
Maxwell,
in
that's the
his
other crazy dude.
space.
Well, again, like I
Pressman,
said,
Admiral
Pressman,
Pressman.
thank you.
the treaty just says they can't use them on starships. These are mines. Also, fuck the Romulans. They signed a non-aggression pact with the Dominion.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, yeah, if you sign a non-aggression pact with someone that you're at war with, someone the Federation's at war with, I feel like that kind of calls into question any prior agreements.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Has it? This is why we should have started with tops. God damn it, Chris.
Why, you would have been in a bad mood for
For the whole episode.
the rest of the show.
For the
It's a
whole
good
episode,
thing
yeah.
that Chris went last.
Yeah, really.
And we did tops last because
Yeah.
No, but then we could just end it shitting on Let He Who Is Without Sin.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
a fucking terrible episode.
Pretty bad. Again, like, it's not the worst episode I've ever seen. It's just that it, like, undoes any good Worfy stuff that I was liking. It just fucks everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
like
questioned Jadzia's taste that episode.
Definitely.
Truth.
Definitely.
But again,
Dude.
she did get to see him in that gold Speedo. and
True.
He didn't, so.
True. Is
Well.
it worse than Threshold? Probably not.
we haven't gotten there yet.
No, I know.
I don't hate Threshold.
Really? I haven't seen it in years. I just know people say it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I also didn't hate, what is it, Alan Moraine, Move Along Home.
That wasn't as bad as people say it is. It's not great, but it's meh. Anyway, sorry.
Well, all that being said, we will return next week and discuss the season 6 opener and the second episode, A Time to Stand and Rocks and Shoals. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more, either you want to check out next week or you want to look at the 206 episodes plus 10 forwards that have come before, you can check us out on SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for a star to steer her by, or on Tumblr and Twitter as SSHB Podcast, or at sshbpodcast.com, where you can check out cool articles we've written about Wesley's awful sweaters and the worst admirals in the Starfleets and
Yeah, we need more content.
ship aesthetics,
Yeah,
but
we
also fan fictions.
Yeah, and also the list of the episodes we mentioned today will be up.
Yep, tops and bottoms for this season and every season before it.
This might be AIM's most acerbic rundown yet, so look forward to that.
I've been very polite in those blog posts.
No, I know, but I feel like this is the one where you're going to give up.
Yep, I think I already have.
It's gonna make a voodoo doll of you and stick it on the site. People pin the tail on the Chris. All right.
How were there not better episodes? Okay, we're done.
Well, Ames has been exacerbated. I have been Caitlin. No, exasperated, not exacerbated. Fuck, I fucked up my own stupid joke.
You want to start your joke again?
Nope. This has been Caitlin.
This has been Jake.
This has been Chris.
Never again will this be Ames.
Exasperated. And hey, rule of acquisition 190. Hear all, trust none. Superman's a power bottom. Speaking of bottoms, tops and bottoms.
Oh, hang on. Let me see if I had anything else I wanted to say.
Good segue. Does that mean Batman's a top?
Hello. Yes, and or duh.
Batman is totally a switch.
All right. Ames, what did you have anything else
I'm
for
not
us,
sure.
love?